Are you open for a couple of questions that I'm going to throw at you just to see the level of uptake of information that I've been through? Is that something you're open to do?
Yes.
Perfect. So I'm going to ask you straight off the bat, what are your three primary colors?
Red, yellow, and blue.
Beautiful. Second question I'm going to ask you is, list for me the three secondary colors that we've got.
Green, violet, and orange.
When we mix those colors, let's take the primary colors, we mix those together. What kinds of colors can we create when we mix a blue, a red, and a yellow together?
A brown.
And alternatively, we can create
And neutral colors.
I love you. The fact that that has been embraced will give you the confidence as a colorist to achieve the result that your client is looking for. When we do take something that is opposite on a color wheel, so yellow for example, we want to counteract a yellow. What do we counteract yellow with?
With a violet.
Why?
Because that's the opposite of the color chart on the color wheel.
Directly opposite or just roughly opposite?
Directly opposite, so it's not unpredictable.
By going directly opposite, you literally will guarantee yourself to achieve that result. If we want to utilize or enhance the color that we've got, what do we do with the color that's already there?
We use more of the primary color.
That is relevant to the color we already have. So if I had orange in my hair and I wanted to make it even more orange, what would I use?
A yellow, orange.
Perfect, because that's going to give me a really nice bright copper. If I wanted to make it something a little deeper in terms of a copper, not a yellow copper, I wanted to swing it down the other way, I would add in a little bit of
a red.
Beautiful, because that's going to swing that orange into a bit more of a red orange, creating a little bit more richness in that copper. If we have a look at this, what you're going to find in O&M, we have our reflex. Remember, those were the numbers after the decimal point. Number 1 for us in O&M, we saw it as ash, and ash was?
Blue.
What is 0.3?
Yellow or gold?
In gold, and I love the fact that you've mentioned both, because one is a colorist's color, being yellow, and the other one is a stylist's color, being gold. You'll often hear clients walking into the salon saying, my hair is throwing too much gold. That is your client talking to you, saying that that's the color that they see. It may not be the color we need to work with. So again, visually, we need to trust what we see. A client may very well refer to gold being
orange,
where for a colorist, a gold is
yellow.
If the client sees their gold as being orange, and we want to counteract the orange, what would I use?
A blue?
100%. As a colorist, if you saw that gold to be a yellow, what would you use to counteract it?
A blue. Sorry, a yellow.
Blue and yellow will make?
Green.
If the client is saying gold and we see that as a gold being yellow, what am I going to use?
Yellow, green.
You're going to use?
Oh, purple. Sorry.
Violet, directly opposite.
Violet.
100%. And that just goes straight back to those fundamentals or the foundations in terms of the principles of color. And on the journey, you'll have those little mishaps where it's just slightly misdiagnosed. And the great thing is, with O&M, where we've designed a color to do a certain thing, like that tube of 9.16 that you were holding, it is only designed to do one thing and one thing only, and that's developed to that level 9 with a blue-violet reflect. So it's imperative that we put that on the correct color that's in the hair. If we put that blue-violet on yellow-orange, it's going to give me a neutral result. Color. If I put that blue-violet on something that's a little more on the yellow side of things, where do you expect that color is going to turn out?
A cooler color.
And it'll swing almost into a little bit of a green tone. And it's the biggest mistake colorists make. And the only reason that happens is because they don't follow the fundamentals. If it was yellow, you'd use a 0.6. If it was orange, you'd use a 0.1. If it's a yellow-orange, which 9 out of 10 times it is, you'd use your 0.16, because we as a company have already pre-mixed those two together for you.
And those are the tertiary colors.
That'll be your tertiary color that you've used to counteract the yellow-orange that's in the hair. Understanding the color wheel and having a look at that, remember we spoke about levels? That was the first number in front of the decimal point on the tube.
Yep.
What does that indicate?
The lightness or the darkness.
How light or how dark that color is. Can you remember what level 2 was?
Black.
And level 10?
Blonde.
Does it jump straight in there or does it gradually
It
transition?
gradually transitions.
Can you remember at which stage it changed from brown into blonde?
5 or 6?
Both of them.
5 or 6.
5 lives in the world of being brown, where 6 lives in the world of being blondes.
Blonde.
The great thing for us as colorists is your client in the chair will never see anything lower than a level 9 as being blonde. The great thing for us as colorists is it gives us a universal conversation that if you ever call me over the phone and ask me on the phone, my client is a level 6, I automatically know what their natural level is based on the fact that it's a universal leveling system. And do you remember the ICCC, International Color Classification Code? Now that we've ascertained what those levels were and you've memorized those, if we look at the numbers that are sitting after the reflect, after the decimal point, those are our reflects. And we've got a very specific way of looking at it. And do you remember on the back of the color chart, we had a color wheel that had the same colors, but they had numbers associated to them. Point 1 in O&M was,
Blue,
and that we refer to as being
cooler color.
ash.
Ash, sorry.
Okay. Point 1 is ash. Point 3 for us was,
Yellow,
point 4 was,
orange,
point 5,
red,
point 6.
violet.
The sneaky little one that we had was a point 7, and that I refer to as a brunette, and that was a combination of something. Can you remember what that combination was?
Was it a gold and green?
Was it the 3 primary colors, which is a combination of our,
Yellow, red and blue.
and that combination will create that really beautiful,
Neutral.
rich, chocolatey brown kind of tone. The last one that we had in there was our point 9, and point 9 for us was the one that everyone is super scared of.
The green.
100%. Do you think there's a need for the green?
Yes.
Why? What is it going to counteract?
The red.
A lot of your clients will come in and say they hate the red in their hair. As a colorist, knowing what is opposite red, which is,
Green.
you need to have a green in your portfolio to counteract that red that your client is seeing. If you don't feel confident to use the green and you mistakenly use a blue instead, on your client that has got red in their hair, what do you think you're going to create?
More
Blue and red?
purple.
And
Violet.
has that counteracted what you wanted and achieved the result?
No.
Your client will not be happy. So again, it always boils right down to the fact that it will always work. It works on principles. This is the most important thing for you as a colorist to embrace, know, understand, write one out, do it over and over and over. Stick it on the back of the bathroom door, stick it in your bedroom, stick it everywhere so that you have this constant visualization in terms of what the world of color is and how it works. And what you'll find we've done for you at O&M is on the color chart on the back, as you discovered a little earlier, is we've done all the hard work for you.